yet, but just congratulate another result that you had, 4-2 result. We've brought a lot of happiness to.
The GAA congratulating the IFA on the recent draw in Portugal, a sign of progress and good relations.
I think that's a reflection of how far we've come. I suppose we'd always have got that, but in a formal environment like today, it was very good for him to come across with that recognition.
And does that go the other way as well? Is that mutual respect?
Oh, absolutely, because Jim did mention the speech, and later on he talked about a great, when they speak now about all the successes in sport in Ulster, they include our games and the Donegal win, when he compared that to the soccer win and Rory McIlroy and golf, things like that. We're all rolled into one as great things for Ulster.
Rugby is expected to come on board next, and former Ireland player Trevor Ringland is heartened by the leadership being shown by sport to the rest of the community.
No, I think sport is showing the way. I think sport is showing that relationships can be built. I think you look at the work that the IFA have done in Football for All and the change in the atmosphere at Windsor Park, and that work they recognise is ongoing, but it's been fantastic, and the football fans themselves have been tremendous in the way they challenged themselves and said we have to change our behaviour and make it a more inclusive environment. You look at Ulster GAA, the change of rules, the sharing of Croke Park, and the way now they're trying to reach out and build relationships with a part of the community that previously maybe didn't have the sort of relationship they should have had. And they again are challenging themselves, and Ulster Rugby as well. It's going from success to success. It's a sport, it represents the 9-county Ulster, and it very much is about trying to create an inclusive environment that wants everybody to support them. I often quote the words of Danny Murphy of Ulster GAA, in a simple gesture he says when his county play says they seek to represent all the people, and I think all those three major sports are attempting to do that and looking at ways they can ensure people feel that it is an inclusive environment when they turn up to support the games.
It's a far cry from the Troubles, when the three big sports existed on their own, with very little communication between them.
I think the sports at that stage just didn't recognise each other. They didn't interact. They ran their own sport, and that was it. And probably that's where we've come from. That has always been the case up until fairly recently. And now we're recognising that sports are a reflection of society, and by coming together we can contribute to a better Northern Ireland in the future.
It seems that the organisations are coming together, the likes of the chiefs and people involved, and then maybe they are hoping to show leadership to the rest.
Yeah, I think it's much more difficult for people further down the chains to come together, but if the top doesn't come together, the rest will never come together. And I think that's where the continuous improvement now happens, is at the levels down the chain where it is more community-based and it is more significant, and that's what I look forward to seeing happening.
I suppose everybody's going to make sure that their own sports are achieving the best and the best of what they would do, and I would hope that we would contain that we would still strive to be as good as we can, make sure that everybody can take part in our games to the highest standard and achieve the most that they can as an individual. If the other sports do the same, that's good competition for everybody. It just means that more of our young people will be involved in sports, and the various abilities that they would have, they would still be able to take part in some of our games and achieve what they're set out to do, which is set out their goals and their dreams, and we hope that any of us can help them achieve it.
We have the biggest crossover, of course. Soccer has a lot of current Gaelic and ex-Gaelic stars playing in the game here as well, and an international team. So they're very relevant to us as well.
And what message would you like to see, or to send out, if you could, to grassroots in all of the sports about, just coming together and maybe getting on with each other and respecting each other?
Well, I think, first of all, we are recognising ourselves as part of society. Northern Ireland society has been through some hard times and still has lots of issues, as we heard today. And if we as sport can be used as a hook to help, even if it's only a small step, every small step will add up to a much bigger step, and that's where we see ourselves.